Welcome back to this week's Explainer. Today, we're taking a look back at our daily vibe journey from the week of July 8th to the 14th, 2026. And we're going to completely reframe how we look at success. We're moving away from treating success like it's some sort of external destination. Instead, we're realizing that it's actually a deeply internal process. It's about developing our character and our daily habits, because as it turns out, a building is really only as strong as the people who build it.
So let's dive right into this by asking a pretty profound question, one that challenges the very way we think about construction. What is the strongest foundation you will ever build? Now, you might be thinking of physical structures, but I'll tell you right now, this foundation, it isn't made of bricks, steel, or concrete. No, it's made of something much closer to home.
Here is our blueprint for the week. First, the builder's mindset. Then, confidence in the unknown, followed by laughter as a reset. After that, we'll look at the Picard principle, the execution gap, and finally, building your legacy.
Let's get started with number 1, the builder's mindset.
Now, what's really interesting here is how a massive part of this inside-out success comes down to mastering your craft. As Wolfgang Puck reminded us this week, excellence is absolutely not an accident. It requires giving 85 to 100% of your internal effort. It's about caring deeply about the work you do and, crucially, serving others with true humility.
And you know, this internal foundation also requires a sense of wonder. The great E.B. White invited us to realize that in a world moving at absolute top speed, we really have to slow down. We need to slow down long enough to notice life's everyday miracles. True emotional intelligence means making room for that quiet observation.
Moving on to Section 2, Confidence in the Unknown. On one side, we have Sofia Vergara, who showed us the quiet, incredible strength of confidence. She taught us that authentic confidence doesn't come from pretending to be someone else, right? It comes from embracing exactly who we already are. Meanwhile, on the flip side, Tom Hanks encouraged us to completely embrace the unknown. And that brilliantly illustrates Tom Hanks' ultimate lesson. As he put it, every worthwhile adventure begins with a courageous first step into unfamiliar territory. You just have to take that leap. Section 3, Laughter as a Reset. The legendary comedian Milton Berle captured this perfectly. He said, laughter is an instant vacation. Just think about that. A simple smile has a remarkable way of completely restoring our perspective. This is exactly why having a sense of humor isn't just nice to have, it's a necessary, non-negotiable tool for the builder's mindset. And the actual return on investment of humor? It's simple: renewal. A smile has this amazing ability to restore our perspective when challenges pop up. It literally acts as a shock absorber for the brain when things get stressful, completely rinsing out those stress hormones.
You see, laughter is so much more than just entertainment. It's the relational glue that holds us together. Authentic joy builds an undeniable bond and strengthens our relationships with everyone around us. It proves, without a doubt, that humor is a vital part of our character.
That brings us to Section 4, the Picard principle.
Okay, so the crucial point here is this powerful piece of wisdom delivered by Captain Jean-Luc Picard, brought to life by the brilliant Sir Patrick Stewart. He says, "It is possible to commit no mistakes and still lose. That is not a weakness. That is life." Wow. The reality of this principle is that, well, life just isn't always fair. Sometimes we do absolutely everything right. We follow the optimal course of action, and we still fall short. But as we learned this week, those moments do not define us. Our response does. Our character has to be stronger than our circumstances.
Let's look at Section 5, the execution gap.
To bridge that gap between where we are and where we want to be, we turn to William Hanna, who closed out the week by encouraging us to think differently. You see, a vision provides the direction, but execution is what happens when someone is willing to imagine a better way and actually physically act on it. Every meaningful improvement, every innovation begins right there. But movement requires consistent effort over time. The world so often celebrates the final results, but lasting success begins much, much earlier. It begins with every single skill you develop, every challenge you face, and every setback you overcome when absolutely no one is watching.
Because every completed task builds true confidence. Every act of creativity, every moment of courage, and every single smile you share quietly acts as a stepping stone. Character isn't built in a single extraordinary moment, folks. It's built through ordinary decisions repeated every single day.
Finally, Section 6, Building Your Legacy. Today, the world constantly celebrates the final image, the superficial stuff.
but we are called to focus on substance. The strongest foundation you will ever build isn't made of bricks or steel. It is built by empowering the people around you and heavily prioritizing your values.
As we hit the midpoint of July, I want you to remember that your foundation is built from these core materials: your integrity, your curiosity, your compassion, your courage, and your absolute willingness to keep growing, even when the journey isn't easy. So keep building, keep believing, keep becoming, because every meaningful life is crafted one choice, one lesson, and one day at a time. I want to leave you with this final thought to really ponder as you step out to create something the world has never seen before. What ordinary decision will you make today to shape the legacy you are building? Be the vibe, everyone.